What's going on, Genius Nation? It's your man, Dr. Will, and you guys know the deal. Let me know what city, what state, what country you are chiming in from. Even if you're watching the replay, let me know what city, what state, what country you are chiming in from. I'm here in the beautiful city of Phoenix, Arizona, where God vacations. So wherever you are in the world, let me know what city, what state, what country you're chiming in from. If you're watching this on YouTube, let me know what city, what state, what country you are in, and make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification button. Welcome to a wonderful Monday morning. I hope all of you had a fantastic weekend. I had a fantastic weekend, and that's what I want to talk to you guys about today. And so I titled this, "Does your environment excite you? Does your environment excite you?" And when I talk about your environment, I'm talking about all the places you put yourself in, but specifically two places. The first one is your work environment, where you do your work, especially if you're an entrepreneur, business owner. Have you created an environment that excites you? Have you created an environment that excites you? On a couple of earlier videos, I showed you guys my office and the things that I have around my office. So immediately when I walk into my office, it's filled with inspiration. It's filled with quotes. It's filled with things that inspire me. It's filled with things that excite me. And so your work environment, even at your desk, if you know, whether that be a cubicle, whether you have an office, have you set it up so when you walk in there, you're inspired, you're excited, that you see things that challenge you. I have things on my walls that challenge me, that remind me what I want to accomplish. And so it's vitally important, guys, that you create these environments, that you're not waiting for someone else to come and inspire you or motivate you or whatever, but that you've created these environments. And then the second environment I want to talk to you about are those that you hang around the most. You know, they say that you're going to become the sum total of the 5 people you hang around the most. And so if you took an inventory of the people that you hang around the most, do those individuals inspire you? Do they inspire you, right? Do they excite you? Do they challenge you to be better? When you look at the individuals that you invest the most time with, are you better for it? Are you better after you leave their presence? Are you better? So yesterday, my goddaughter called me on Saturday, and she says, "Gotti, are you coming?" Because they invited. We have a group of about 15 of us that hang out. We've been hanging out for about 20 years. We met in the military, and we've been hanging out for 20 years now. We met in the military, living in Germany, and we all moved to Phoenix, Arizona, so we can continue the friendship, continue the family. And so we do everything together. So she calls me and she says, "Hey, Gotti, are you coming over tomorrow? I want to make sure you're coming over." And I had something to do. I said, "No, I didn't know about it." And something got confused. Some communication got twisted up. But anyway, she says, "Gotti, you got to be there because we have an announcement. We got an announcement." I said, "I don't know if I'm going to make it." She said, "Gotti, you got to be there." So anyway, on Sunday, I go down and I meet up with everybody. And so we're all at my buddy's house. Everybody knows my business partner, Dr. V, I think. But we're all over at his house. And everybody's there, so we're around the table, and they're getting ready to make this announcement. And they gave us some 3x5 cards, and they say, kind of see if you can guess what the announcement is. And so we were all trying to guess what the announcement is. So finally, they end up telling us what the announcement is. And it just blew everybody away. And it's one of those moments that are transformational in life. It's a moment that me and my partner, Dr. V, have talked about for years and years and years, 20 years now, about how we want to set up the next generation and what we want to do for the next generation. And so they finally tell us what this big surprise is. And so what the surprise was, that my business partner and his wife, they bought their kids, their two daughters, a brand new house. And I'm telling you, when they made this announcement, everybody just went crazy. So we jump in the cars to go see the house. And we're at the house and we're walking around and looking at a magnificent house. But when we talk about setting up the next generation, and when we talk about legacy wealth, and when we talk about being around people that inspire you, this is what was so amazing to me, because immediately it's four families, and all the fellas, we stepped to the side and we started to talk, and we meet up every month so we can share information like this. And so we were talking about this, and we were talking about our next meeting, the information that we're going to be sharing. And so we share things like, once again, anytime any of us get good information, whether it be about insurance policies, whether it be about trust, setting up trust, whether it be just any types of opportunities that's going to make us better, we share it with each other. We have these monthly meetings so we can share this type of information, because you guys know, I don't believe there's a wealth gap. I believe that there's an information gap. And the better information you get and the more you act on that information, that gap begins to close. So when we start talking about, when they say, for Black Americans versus Caucasian Americans, that there's a wealth gap of $170,000, $200,000. Well, the way you close that is through real estate, through housing. You buy a house and you've closed, because we're talking about net worth. So you buy a house that's $300,000, $400,000, $200,000. You've closed the gap. You closed the gap. There's no longer a gap. And so we already know what the solution is. We already know what the solution is. They have numbers out there. Oh, it'll take, 100 years to close the wealth gap. It won't take 100 years if we start getting the right information and we start taking the right actions. And so the right actions is via real estate, home ownership, and investing. And so the fellas, we were talking, and we were just so excited, because this is something we've talked about for years, making sure that we establish the next generation. So my challenge for you guys is, number one, the environment that you've created for yourself, your work environment, your home environment. Check that environment for yourself. And then the second thing is the individuals that you're hanging around. Do they inspire you? Do they move you? Do they challenge you? Do they make you better? Are you better because you're in those relationships? So check your relationships, check your environments, guys, and to see if you're maximizing, right? Because this is what I know, especially for men. Men like a challenge. Men, we look at a mirror and it's a game for us, right? Life is a game for us. And so we were all messing with my boy. We said, man, you threw a Hail Mary, man. You know what I mean? And so you raised the standard. And even I was talking to my goddaughters, and I was talking to the group. Listen, my goddaughters, they have a house, they have a car, they're in college, so they're getting their degree. They just up the ante on any guy that's going to try to come and talk to them. They already have a house, they already have cars, they're getting their education. They up the ante, right? They've upped the ante of any guy just trying to come in and talk to them. They're in a whole nother stratosphere. right? And so they're not falling for the okie doke. And so I was teasing them. I said, man, you made it extremely hard. But anybody that comes ready, anybody that comes up to them, they got to be ready. They got to be ready. You got to be able to do better than what they're already doing. They're already in their own house. They already have cars. They already have their degree. They're going to have great careers. Man, you got to up the ante. So when I think about my daughter, already has a car, already has a career, you got to up the ante. You just can't come with any old BS. And so that's what I want to share with you guys on this Monday. Like I always say, let's go out there and dominate this week. I'll see you right back here inside the nation tomorrow morning. Have a great day, guys.